Are you ready to get back into the swing of taking care of yourself now that the kids are back in school? If so, you're going to want to watch and hang out with me because I'm going to show you guys how I am currently using my wellness planner to help me get back into the habit of getting back into exercising and rebuilding muscle and those types of things for my current wellness focus and goals for this month. And we are in the middle of the month, so I wanted to share with you guys exactly what I'm doing and how I'm getting back into the beginning of everything, and give you guys a quick flip through of my wellness planner so you can see exactly how I have it set up and what I am working on. So if that is something that you are wanting to learn a little bit more about, then stay tuned. And if this is your first time tuning with me, welcome. My name is Apollonia Cross and I am a mindset wellness coach who specializes in teaching mompreneurs how to use planners and journals to help them heal their mindset and motherhood so that way they can learn how to reprioritize themselves and regain their identities after having kids. So I am excited again to show you guys the setup on my wellness planner and talk to you a little bit about goal setting and being intentional with gradually rebuilding yourself and your stamina up to getting back into physical exercise, especially if you're someone like me who it's been a while and you've been a little bit inconsistent with physical exercise. It happens. After we have our kids, life happens, life gets busy. And especially if you are like me and you are a mom of multiple children in different age groups, you feel like you're pulled in all the different directions and you have absolutely nothing for yourself. Totally normal. And so, this is why I wanted to share with you guys, with it being the middle of the month, do not fret if you are feeling like I'm behind, I'll probably just wait a little bit more and blah 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 blah. No more excuses, ladies. I totally understand you, and we can always put ourselves on the back burner. But I wanted to give you guys inspiration with showing you my planner. So this way, hopefully, it'll give you that little bit of nudge and hope again to go ahead and get started exactly where you are, regardless of what the calendar says. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up my planner. And while I am doing that, you guys let me know where you're at in the world. Let me know if you are watching from YouTube or if you're watching from Facebook. And also let me know where you are at currently with your health and wellness. And so this is actually, let me go ahead and remove my face so you can just see my planner. But all right, so this is my wellness planner right now. And I did not do a full flip through of this setup, but I love it. This is in the bone crock cover. I actually originally was going to use it for my business planner, but I really, really love this. And I felt, well, why not pop my wellness planner in here? It just fits so much better. Um, but I love this cover and I actually really love how I have this set up. And so before the first half of the year, I just had a simple hardcover for my planner. And the second half of the year, I opted to go ahead and put a nice cover on it because aesthetics are everything. And especially when we're not really feeling that great about ourselves, because we are too busy dealing with cleanup and cleaning up the house, exercising, and trying to remember whether or not we took a shower, all of those things. It's always nice and great to have a planner that represents you, even when you don't feel like you. And this is why I'm so passionate about having a planner and spending the time, not spending the time, but investing the time to reflect, to have it reflect you, and investing in quality things, because you may not necessarily be able to do that on a daily basis because you're like, there's no point in me trying to get dolled up if I'm just going to stay in the house. But at least, like, you can have a little bit more fun with this, be able to express yourself a lot more freely, and also feel a lot more organized than what your current brain in mom lifestyle is telling you. So That is enough of that. And I just want to give a quick shout out. I see Renisha on from Virginia Islands. Hey. And I see Tina from Northern California. What's up? I got to figure out where you're at because we're both in the same neck of the woods. So all right, girls. So let's go ahead. And for those of you guys who are catching this on the replay, we love you guys too. So as you can see, Mama has not had much time to make this look so elaborate or whatever. I'm purely in straight functionality mode, and I'm okay with that right now. I know I will have more time to like decorate the spread, put more inspo or whatnot on my cover and all the things. But right now, I just want to get back into the habit of using this. And so I share that because I want you to be encouraged if you are brand new to wellness planning or even the planner community in general, and you started to look at some planner babes and their lineup is like crazy, like gorgeous and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I don't think I can do that. You don't need to do that. You need it to be functional as well as pretty for you right now in the season of life that you're in. You might be like me and just need something simple because everything else around you is a little chaotic. Totally okay. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get back into this. I'll just do a quick flip through and then I will share with you guys exactly how I am in certain things that I'm tracking in for this month and how the month is started and where it's currently at. Okay. So here for my wellness planner, I'm gonna just pop off the cover so you guys can see it. But this is the wellness. Let me see. Can you see it? There we go. So this is the wellness, the recovery planner from the Happy Planner. And I actually really love it. It says we're all a work in progress. Don't know if you can see that. The glare kind of sucks, but there you go. But I really, really love this cover because we are all a work in progress. And especially after having kids, we can be very hard on ourselves to try to get back in shape and get back to being perfect and blah, 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 blah. Again, reminding ourselves and putting as much as we can around us to remember that we are a work in progress and that it is okay when things are not perfect and that every little bit of day to day is going to help us get there. Now, in this planner, I currently have this set up from July through December because if I don't set up my planners from a quarterly perspective, I like to do it at least by the first half of the year and the second half of the year. So my planner is not super, super bulky. And as you can see, actually, let me just take out the cover. Like it is kind of bulky. And I still haven't even added more journaling pages in the back of here just yet. I have to print some more off. And so because I love the Happy Planner setup. And I love some of the layouts from the Happy Planner. I absolutely love the dashboard layout, but I also love to use different printables and inserts. And so I kind of use a combination of both in the different sections. And I also have my own inserts that I like to use, which you might see some of them in here. But let me know what you guys are interested. Are you interested and do you like using printables or do you prefer just buying a planner and using that? I have found that I am constantly changing things up because I like to make sure that my planner fits with my lifestyle. So trying to stick to one planner every year is always a very, very big challenge. Now, this is the year at a glance. I like that they added this. I just have not discovered how I wanted to use it for my wellness planner. Now, this is something, if this is something that you were focusing on tracking your weight progression and you have like a big goal and that was your focus, this would be a great way to track and monitor that without having to create an actual wellness or a weight loss tracking sheet. You can literally just use this if you wanted to do that scale, track your scale victories. I personally do not because for me, the scale is a trigger. So if the scale doesn't go down or it goes up, it is just not a good thing for me mentally and emotionally. So I personally choose not to use this for that. But there's other ways that you can use it too. When I was focusing mainly on spiritual health, and reading Bible verses, I would write down the verse of the day here. And so that's a great option that you can do too if that's something that you wanted to do. Just throwing a couple of things out and you let me know what kind of you like. Now, the first section in my planner after we get past this, I incorporated a goals tab here. And this is just a clear frosted dashboard, which I really love. That these ones are actually from cloth and paper, and I will make sure to post links if that is something that you guys might be interested in, so that way you can get them. I really love the quality of their dashboards because like this is pretty thick, and I'm a person who likes, if I'm going to buy something, I will pay the money for quality items. I'm not one to go as cheap as I can and it breaks on me and I have to keep buying it. To me, that is a waste of money because eventually, if I would have just invested the money up front, I was going to save more money compared to going cheap in the beginning because I was going to have to keep rebuying the same thing. So that's just me. But yeah, I can post the link in the details of every of the video down the road. So that way you guys, if you guys are interested, you can get them. But they also have them on Etsy. I just really, after trying few different companies on dashboards, I really do love the cloth and paper version. All right. So the first thing for my goals, I am using a goals vision board booklet, and this is from Fancy Plans Co. And I actually had this from, oh gosh, this was from 2021, and I had wrote down some things, but I was not really consistent with using it as much. I had filled in parts of it, but because I didn't really use it so much and it wasn't fully filled out, what I did do was some things that I did not do, like as you can see here, I have some goals. It says like start saving towards a momcation, update my wardrobe, rebuild self confidence, rebuild exercise routine. Like these are still things that I really wanted to work on this year. So instead of covered that up, I saved that. And then the little boxes, I had little small things in here, but since those are no longer my focus, I just took some stickers and covered up those boxes and decided to repurpose this to use it for this year. And so that again, just to goes to show you, if you want to repurpose some things and you don't want to buy anything else and you have something that's been lightly used, you can always use stickers to cover up the things that you do not want. Like there's 2021 that was in the corner, but you can't even tell where it was at because I used a few stickers to cover that up. But I really love this workbook, especially for focusing on your wellness. Wellness has to do with your entire life, and there's different aspects of your overall health and well-being, which include your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial, occupational, environmental, and relational health. And so I really loved how this workbook, it has personal here, work, it has home, financial, family, it has self-care, and it has spiritual health, and it has fitness, and then there's a section here for reflection. So I really love that for this vision board workbook. It has a lot of different sections. You can kind of put individual goals and get very specific with some things. But if that is something that is a little overwhelming to you, you can always just do one page and have one goal. That's what I always recommend to my one-on-one coaching clients. Before you try to go into all the things, we're going to start you with one goal and then take that one goal and we're going to break that down. And so that way it feels a lot more achievable. And this is the self-care workbook that I also do with my clients to help them figure out their primary self-care focus and also get their goals and themselves realigned with their purpose. And so this I won't show you, but we go in pretty deep with this. I do offer it. I haven't offered it as a printable. I've been debating if I should, but I love to use this also just for myself too. So that way I can always make sure that I'm keeping myself in alignment as well. Because it's one thing to just go out and track and do things, but if you're not doing it with intentions and a end goal in mind, you're going to find yourself just kind of spinning on the wheel. All right. So that is that. Yeah, that's that. And if you'd like me to do a full, actually separate video on this self-care workbook, or if you might be interested in booking a coaching session with me to go through this with you and we can create a self-care plan for you, then I would love to do that with you. You can drop in the comments or you can DM me and I can give you the details on that and we can go from there. Or let me know if you prefer, you're more of a DIY girl and you'd like to just get the printable workbook and be able to do it your own. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on that because that is a little bit of market research I'm doing. All right, so now let's get into my daily section. Now, this is where I like to do daily gratitude. At the first half of the year, I was focusing on reaffirmations, or not reaffirmations, but I was focusing on tracking affirmations. And so for this month, I really want to focus on daily, or this second half of the year, I wanted to really do daily gratitude. And as you can tell, for July was a very busy month for me because it was everybody's birthday except one of my kids' birthdays in the month of July. The remaining five of us all have July birthdays. So it was a really, really busy month on top of we were getting ready for back to school. So like my mind, there was, you can see it's just writing. I was doing affirmations, but we got busy. And so there's lots of blank pages here. I tried to pick it back up again. And then it was just, yeah, it's okay. Whenever you have like a moment of life where it's not so pretty and your planner is basically blank for the week, leave it that way. Or you can choose to back plan if that's something that you want to do, but don't beat yourself up about it. Just remember, like, all right, that was a week that life happened, and that's exactly why you embraced white space. But for August, I am using, actually, this was a 2021 planner that I had repurposed, and I love Disney. I love Disney princesses. It just, I mean, who doesn't, right? Like, if you're a girl, like you for the most part, I'm sure you love Disney princesses. And so I really, really love that they had an entire Disney princess planner that was a horizontal layout. So that's what I chose. And even though it's 2021, like, you can just cover up the dates because I wasn't paying attention to that because, again, for me, I was just tracking daily gratitude, and I can always cover up a sticker if I wanted to show, for this to be accurate. Like, so it doesn't make that big of a difference. But I haven't written on here because I haven't decided yet exactly how I want to use the monthly spread for my daily gratitude. However, I did start using the horizontal layout so that way I can just make sure I'm writing something that I'm grateful for the day. And I really love to do this practice. I actually like to do this more at night because of the fact that I want to make sure that I experience the day and then I can reflect on how the day went and write. Whenever you do your journaling and your gratitude, it's completely up to you. I've done that to where I wake up in the morning and I also do gratitude journaling. That's totally fine. And I still do that. I just use my faith journal for that instead, because I want to be thankful for my intentions and what I'm wanting to bring into my life and future. Whereas with this, I'm using this more as a daily reflection because if you're like me, you've got a crap load going on. And so I tend to forget that I even lived in the day just because everything's so busy and I don't remember what happened. And so doing this actually helps me, causes and makes me remember to be thankful for something that actually happened that day. And so, as you can see, last week was a busy week. Did not get to writing into this, but I did decorate it. And this is still just, it's always just fun to have a spread that's decorated. So that way it looks pretty, because I could also always go ahead and just back right in whatever I wanted to, but even blank, it looks pretty. I just really also love to sticker as a therapeutic way. Like if I'm trying to do my best not to move around a lot, and not distract the kids, especially when they're calm, but I need to do something because my mind is constantly going. This is a great way for me to be able to allow my mind to kind of flow and move and think a little bit without being able to have to physically do so much, especially when I'm trying to stay calm and keep the kids calm as well. This is a great creative outlet that is actually calming and relaxing for me. And so hopefully that might be something that it might be for you as well. So as you can see, this theme, it's Snow White on the side, and I got the seven dwarves here. But what I like to do, if you're wondering how to journal and gratitude, I kind of already told you, but I personally like to write Dear God at the very beginning. That is my personal preference. You do not have to. You can just simply write thank you, depending on wherever your faith is at. That's completely up to you and a personal choice. But I always want to make sure that I'm very specific and intentional with writing down what I'm thankful for that he allowed me to experience for that day. And this just helps me make sure that I'm always staying in gratitude, even if it was a very difficult day, that I find something that I'm thankful for that day that I was able to experience. And so it's such a great practice, and I really love to do that. And so the next week is blank for next week. But what I like to do too is I like to do my best to pre-decorate as much as I can. That way it's just not so, it's not so much for me to do. I can just focus on pulling it out and then using it when I'm ready. So now let's get into the third section. Okay, my third section, oops, let me go here. I went a little too far. So my third section in my planner is the wellness section. And again, I have another tab, but this wellness section I really use to track my mood, as well as my emotional health and my cycle. As you can see, again, July was very, very plain, just writing in it, but that's still also good. So I hope that gives you encouragement for my moms who are like, I'm not a creative person, but I totally would love to learn how to better manage my self-care and track my like health and wellness goals. You can do that, and you don't have to be a decorative person. That actually may stress you out right now. It just really depends on your mood, and that's completely okay. And so don't ever feel pressured that you have to decorate, because you don't. It's completely a personal choice, and it's going to change with you throughout your life. So as you can see, this was a busy season of my life. Therefore, I did not care about stickers. There was lots of writing though. And so with this spread, I really, really love this layout, because here it has 3 different habits that you can track and focus on. There is small to-dos here. There is a section where you can just kind of jot some things down, and it has a weekly check-in where it has a few journaling prompts, which is really nice. And then it also has, on the opposite side, just the date, and it also has different emojis where you can track your mood and then write down whatever you feel here. And then there's also a little section for gratitude there for each day. And I actually really love using this specifically for tracking what was going on with me personally that day. If I have a win that I want to celebrate, if I was having a rough day, exactly what was the cause of that. And again, like I said, I do my best to track also my cycle and my back pain, because those are some things that will also factor into our moods, lack of sleep, and those types of things. I've not been tracking sleep, but what I have really just been focusing on tracking is my emotions and my cycle right now, because I'm just barely getting back into the habit of physically exercising. So I haven't before, wasn't really focused on um, the other aspects. And so again, with this, now this is so cute. It's very simply decorated, but it's still really cute. But as you can see here, I had nothing tracked in the first 2 weeks because I just wasn't using this section like that. But getting back into the habit of tracking now, I have when I started my cycle on here, and I also track if it was light, if it was heavy, because that also what I noticed, depending on how light or heavy it is, that also really affects my back pain too. And this is something like important to start being aware of your body and how it responds to certain things, because that way you can learn how to plan your day accordingly. You do not want to overload your schedule if you know that you are going to more than likely have a lot of extreme back pain. Yeah, sometimes we got to do what we got to do, but you can still plan accordingly to do your best to try to plan to have lower activity days in your schedule. Maybe if you have a lot of appointments, or if you have to do a lot of driving or something, and you can be flexible with your schedule, maybe you shift some of those appointments so that way you're not having to sit so much and put more pressure on your back, like if that's something that you were struggling with. Or even if it doesn't I would say back pain because that's what I struggle with, but whatever it is that you need to be monitoring for your health and wellness, this is where you want to be able to track that, and so you can start reflecting and comparing that to your moods and things. And so this is that. But oh, I forgot to show you this. I actually really love how there is a goals and intentions section for the month, and it's super cutely decorated. I must say myself, I love Princess Tiana. Absolutely love her. And the one thing that I really wanted to focus on, I have these inspirational quotes that remind me to stop rushing through life. Every mom needs to focus on that, but and also live in the present. And so those are my real focuses for this month, is to focus on living in the present, be mindful, not trying to rush through everything, because especially with young ones, we can tend to be like, Jesus, help me get through this season because I can't wait till it's over, because we feel like we're stuck. We feel like we're going through the grooves, and sometimes we are, right? But it's important to remember to also do your best to be as present and intentional with finding the joy in the difficult moments, because that's where you learn to grow and develop. So I did not fill this part out yet, but if you're someone who's also like me, like in the middle of the month, and you're like, all right, I'm starting fresh and it's the middle of the month, no worries. The date is just the date. It's still a great opportunity for you to pull out this section and go ahead and write down any goals and intentions that you want to focus on. Or even if you're back planning, going back to be like, all right, for August, what were the things that I did accomplish? What were some of the things that I did achieve? And so that way, instead of focusing on what you didn't do and beating yourself up about it, you can celebrate what you did do, and you can use this as a joyful memory book. And so that's just a great way to do that. There's so many different ways that you can use a wellness planner, and how I'm using this one, I do want to work on being more intentional. And so we are in the middle of the month. So I think for this month of August, I'm going to back plan and do a reflection, and then write down the things that I did achieve and big wins, just because I am in the middle of the month. And I don't want to pressure myself into having to try to hit a certain goal before the end of the month is up. And so, but right now, my real big focus for this month is to gradually rebuild myself into exercising again and monitoring my back, because I did start physical therapy for healing my pelvic floor. And so I've been doing more of those exercises consistently, and just gradually getting back into moving my lower body and doing weights again lightly. And just monitoring that, because again, I want to make sure that I am working out in a way that is sustainable for myself and not something that is going to injure me in the long run. And so Yeah, that is how I am planning to use this, and just using these squares to daily track. Um, and monitor like my back pain. And I have been walking, but I have not been tracking my steps. So I'll have to go back to that through my digital app, health app, and get all of those stats. But I'm not really too worried about those steps right now. It's for me, it is just building consistency in activity. And so I can build momentum, and then I will get back into getting specific. And so, again, this first week of August was kind of minimal. Now, last week was so much prettier because I spent some time in this. I kind of started to back plan, but I really, really love just a little bit of pop of stickers because it makes everything so much more enjoyable to look at, and it actually makes you want to get back into decorating again. And I really love it. And again, with the Disney princesses, like, it just makes me happy. I love like dolls, which anything like with a girl or whatever, those are dolls. I love those types of stickers. I love florals, and I love boxes. And so, as you can see, I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to decorating because I just like just enough pop and inspiration. So that way, the value in how I use my planner is purely in what I am tracking and learning and growing. Some people really just love the decorative aspect, and that's okay too. You have to find out what it is that you enjoy, but that is what I enjoy. So, the things that I'm focusing on tracking right now, the habit that I'm building is I go to the gym in the morning, and that way it gives me time after the crazy school rush to be able to exercise and decompress without kids from all of that while my little ones are in the gym, daycare. My older two are at school. I get 2 hours to be able to exercise and stretch, and then I spend the last. Or I get 1 hour. I get a 2 hour gap. And so I split that between an hour of exercising. And then I use the remaining hour to be able to shower in peace. Y'all, okay? Let me say this again. I shower in peace. So if you are like, I never get to shower in peace, my kids are always around, that it's okay. I understand you, but it doesn't have to be that way. You just got to maneuver some things around and unapologetically use your resources. And so for me, the resource is the gym. The gym gives me 2 hours a day for me to freely use, whether I exercise or not. So I choose to spend half of that time to actually exercise and work on my body. And then the remaining half of that time I use to collect my mind, gradually get myself ready for the day, and be able to be fully open and relaxed and calm so I can be present for my kids the remaining of the day. It is so life changing. And I am so happy that that's something that I'm working on building again into the habit. And it also, for my little ones, it's helping them get into the habit of what it would be like if they started school, since they are at home with me right now. So, got to figure out your resources and then work those out. And then my second habit is doing listening to audiobooks. And I just wrapped up reading Boundaries in Marriage, and that book I'm rereading like 3 times. Now I am on to reading Untamed. Let me know if you guys have read either of those books. Untamed is a very interesting book. Some things I could get behind on what she's saying, other things I can't. But I feel like every book, there's some knowledge in it. So you got to test out a book to see what's great and take what you love and leave the rest. And Boundaries in Marriage is a very, very great book, whether you are married, getting married, in a relationship, or whatever. It's just a great book so that way you can learn how to manage yourself as well as understand how your spouse operates and how you guys can figure out how to work together. I highly recommend that book. And then my other goal for me that I wanted to do was make sure that I'm doing one thing in alignment with working on my business and building my brand, which is, as a mom of four at home, like 95% of the day by myself, most of the time with 4 kids, it's hard to find and prioritize very specific things and stay focused on it. So at this point right now, I'm just grateful to make sure that I am being as intentional as I can in peace, and being very grateful right now that my daughter is still asleep and has not woke up during this video. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so y'all can give me some snaps for that if you feel me. But yeah, I really love using this layout because it gives me a little bit of ability to journal as well as set goals and intentions here on this side. And then it gives me an ability to track my mood. So if you're somebody, if you want just one planner, this is a great option for you. If you want something very simple, kind of straightforward, and it's structured in a way for you to already use and guide you through using it. Now, again, like I said, how I'm using this. So I love this just for a weekly check-in and reflection and habit tracking, and then setting some milestone intentions right there. And then this side, writing something grateful, or maybe if you weren't using this for daily gratitude, because you're like me, you do daily gratitude in a different planner, you can also use this for a power word, or you can just cover this up with some stickers and use for inspiration. But again, I've just added just some slight stickers because I've been tracking. I prefer to write over things to be so overly decorated. Now, let me know how you feel about, like, are you more of a decorative person, or are you also like me, you prefer a minimal layout because you love to think and you love to be very expressive with your writing? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, so this spread, just to give you a little flip through of what it looks like before the pen. I love this one. I used Belle with some florals. It came out so cute. And then I have Cinderella right here for my goals, with a little bit of some rose gold floral, or actually not floral, but rose gold quote action. This is never give up on your dreams. I really love this. And so I will save September, because I did go ahead and pre-decorate that, but I will save that for next month when I do a flip through. And then now the next section is my section for journaling. Sometimes when my mind is heavy, or my heart is really heavy, or I just have some things that I want to fully get out, I love to just journal. That is really, I love using planners, but I'm recognizing that room my heart really is through journaling and being able to just freely flow and write. So I did incorporate a note section of just some straight lined note paper that I made, and I'll be adding in my shop soon. But I really just love this lined note paper, so that way I can freely write and decorate to my heart's content. If I want to write anything positive, negative, just anything. And so this way I have a journal incorporated in my actual wellness planner setup. And so yeah, you guys, that is all for my wellness planner and how I have it set up and how I'm using it for this month. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this flip through and found it helpful. And then let me know if these types of videos that you actually guys would love for me to continue, to where I pull this out every month and I go over my goals and intentions, and if that would help you on your wellness journey with keeping you accountable, or even just giving you some inspiration. Let me pop my planner right back in, because it started to pop out. But yeah, even if it would give you some more inspiration and you want to see how it would evolve down the road, let me know if that's something you guys would like for me to continue on. And if you prefer for me to do it live, or if you would prefer me to do it recorded, whichever works. I just love to kind of get your guys' feedback so I can learn a little bit more about my audience and see how you guys are doing. But I really enjoyed spending my time with you guys. And let me go ahead and remove this. If you are interested, again, like in any of the items I'm sharing, just let me know so I can go ahead and post those links. And so, yeah, you guys, thanks again for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the flip through and got some inspiration on how you can get yourself back on track with tracking your wellness as we are getting back into the swing of things, getting out of summer mode and into school and, yeah, that mode, because school is a whole nother mode for the kids. And maybe for you if you're a mom who's actually going back to school. But either way, I hope you guys got some good inspiration and encouragement to help you get back on prioritizing your own self-care while you are also prioritizing taking care of your family as well. So cannot wait to hang out with you guys on the next live, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.